We go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Card Advantage podcast. It is bright and early Sunday morning, October 9th at 8:46 a.m. Joined by the Sports Card co-host with the best name in the business. What's up, Bunk? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, but you got me all out of sorts this morning.
Yes, I know. I broke your brain by, going over
Well,
what we're actually going to talk about today with you not remembering what we talked about last week for today.
yeah, it's just good video documentation of my brain slipping.
Yeah,
So if I
Bunk's.
need pills, I'll just show the doctor my video clips.
Yeah, Bunk's got Alzheimer's disease already.
But yeah, that or I can't follow directions, one or the other. But
I'm
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 pretty sure it's because I just can't remember anything.
I'm gonna go with B. You can't follow directions, and or you don't pay attention when I talk. But that's a whole other story. All right. Just a quick reminder, if you have anything you want us to talk about on the show or suggestions for content, info at sportscardadvantage.com. Send us an email.
Hey,
Covered at the top of the show today.
you put
And
a
then
sticky on your screen.
something like that. And social media, Twitter and Instagram, SportsCard ADVTG. Reason why I remember today is because we have a segment that we definitely want your feedback on. It's going to be the first ever Sports Card Advantage Sports Card Draft. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But, doing these 5-item drafts is getting pretty popular on social media these days. So we figured we'd be young and hip and jump in there and add to this ourselves.
I'll never be young and hip.
No, young and hip blew by you about 20 years ago. But
Took my hip with it.
we are going to talk about a couple of other things that are just going on in the hobby, just some hodgepodge before we get into the draft. First and foremost, it seems like we may be heading into some price wars here on grading companies. Both PSA and SGC made some announcements this week as far as their prices are concerned. And I mean, I guess Beckett for that matter as well is in a similar price range right now. SGC dropped their 1 through 9 price to 24, their bulk of over 50 down to 18, and then there's a bunch of stuff in between as far as the other levels. PSA dropped their, I guess, economy price to $18 as well if you're a member.
Collectors Club member and a 25 card submission minimum.
Correct.
So on the surface, it looks awesome. But then you realize I got to send 25 times 18 times shipping insurance.
Not necessarily, because, a lot of these group subs, Nash and Collector 2 and,
If so, right. If they're utilizing
else.
those, you don't have to have your own 25.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get the bottom dollar on your submissions, find a good group grading submission. Collector 2, Nash, Sports Card Investor, all these guys are, massive followings, great customer service, so find somebody that's reputable. And if you're looking for that bottom dollar price, I guess
paper-based tends to the moon, baby.
I guess the biggest question is, will we see prices continue to come down? I know Nat's mentioned in the past he wants to get back to like $10 with PSA. The other caveat on that too is the PSA is the $18 price is valued at $199 and less and below. And I think SGC it's $18 no matter what the valuation is. Is that accurate?
Who's no matter the evaluation?
SGC.
I didn't see that. But yeah, you're correct. You're correct on the $199 for PSA. That flyer I actually read.
Let me take a quick
I saw SGC and just kept going. You checking it out?
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. Declared value less than 1,500 is that $18 price.
That's solid. I can't hate on that at all.
It's 5 to 10 business days for $18, less than $1,500 value. I mean, especially if you're going through a group sub, they'll easily submit more than 50 cards. They, will charge you $18, and other than having to wait probably a couple more days for them to get your order back in and send it out to you versus it coming directly from SGC, it is what it is. If it's less than $3,500, then SGC jumps to 85, and then 75 less than 7,500. So between 3,500 and 7,500, SGC is flat value at 250. So basically, SGC, if you're less than $1,500, then it makes sense to send it to them. If you're looking for a quick turnaround and to flip it and get it back out into the market, same conversation we've had over and over again. I don't think this price change affects much, but also PSA still is in that 3 to 4 month turnaround for economy.
Yeah, and listen, for me, it's the turnaround time. There's a lane you can get in with SGC and a certain kind of card and value card with SGC where if you send enough of them in and do okay, you can make a couple bucks on each one.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a couple bucks, maybe 20 to 60 bucks per card. You find the right stuff and they're going to get it back to you. That's everything. For me, that's everything.
Yeah.
I'll consider SGC because of the turnaround time. That's the value for me. Not sitting and waiting for it.
If it's a new product and the card's worth less than probably $500, somewhere in there, and you want to get it in, get it graded, get it back, and resell it as the price climbs before it drops off, then
SGC is the play, 100%.
But also, I mean, we've been hearing rumblings from Beckett as well, as far as stuff coming back from Beckett pretty quickly these days.
Yes. Yeah, so they have their established things to cover their asses, but there's been a lot of reports that things are coming back quickly. Now, hopefully, if they're demonstrating in-house that they're turning around X volume in an X number of days, you might hear an announcement from them shortly with a little bit lower price point and et cetera.
Yeah, at some point they're going to have to, you have to compete.
Well, they're starting their comeback and now everyone's dropping more prices on them. So they got to get caught up.
Yeah, I mean, and you either have to compete on time or compete on price. I mean, obviously Beckett still has a good reputation in the space as far as being a good grading company. It's more just a matter of competing on price or competing on turnaround time. So
if Beckett came out today and said 5 to 10 days and matches SGC's turnaround time, I would pay their exact price and declared value right now.
Yeah,
I don't even need them to drop their price. Tell me 5 to 10 days. And I'm all over it.
I mean, even if it's less than 30 days.
For their lowest value?
If they came out and said $25 a card with subgrades, we'll get it back to you in less than 30 calendar days,
I'll sign right now.
Yeah, I would send to them over SGC. I'll wait the
100%.
extra 2 weeks
100%.
or whatever it is.
But until there's some kind of narrowing, to your point, in price and time, SGC makes more sense if I'm looking to get rid of the card.
Yeah.
If I'm keeping the card or not selling it anytime soon, then I'm still looking at BGS and PSA. These other companies aren't even a thought.
Yeah,
but I like the price wars. I mean, this is what we want. We want competition here because then it's value for everybody.
Exactly, and we just need, honestly, I would like to see PSA start dropping their turnaround times, and I think as their offices start to ramp up, their Jersey City office or wherever I think it's Jersey City, wherever they built their most recent facility in on the East Coast. I think as that gets up and running to full speed, and between Jersey and California, they're ripping. I think that their turnaround times will decrease, and that's great.
Didn't they just break a record of cards graded last month?
They did.
Their turnaround times aren't coming down anytime soon.
They graded 1.018 million cards in the month of September.
Right, and at $18 in a group scenario, do you know how many cards they're going to grade in October? Probably more than that.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, it's, there's no shortage of people sending cards in now that prices are reasonable again. I mean, people have been sitting on stacks and stacks and stacks of cards for a while for PSA to drop those prices down to a reasonable level. So you're getting everybody just vomiting all these cards that they've been sitting on forever.
The problem's going to be with a million cards graded last month at low dollar value. If you hit nines, you're losing money.
Screwed.
Like on garbage cards, like you're going to be like way under.
Well, that's the thing. It just depends on how you acquired the cards, whether or not, if you hit nines, that it's crap.
Yeah, if you opened it in a pack.
Yeah, if you paid $50 to get into a random team break and you submit some of those cards, then you may be fine. But if you paid for raw singles and the prices have come down, then you may be screwed.
Yeah.
So, there's considerations. We'll continue to talk about grading. It's still a major factor in the hobby, and it will continue to be.
Well, we could probably do a whole segment on it. Is it going to become diluted?
It's already diluted.
I think you're going to see worse ramifications. As million every month, a million PSA cards are going to hit the secondary market.
Well,
I mean, obviously not all of them are getting resold, but
I think that we're in a transition period right now as far as more and more people are putting those cards back into their collections, and as far as I think the top layer of resellers and flippers are gone. I think at this point there's no money to be made. There's no quick and easy buck in the hobby right now.
Yeah, you got to work for it.
You got to dig. You got to research. You got to get a little lucky. It's like Aaron Judge is a perfect example. Yes, you could have made 4 to 5x on Aaron Judge this season, but you had to have picked right at the beginning of the season and rode it out until basically right now. So I don't think there's a lot of guys that are
with that patience.
Well, not even that. I don't think there's a lot of guys in baseball that you have that with. Like
no, over the last couple of years you had multiple guys at the same time, but in the current status of everything, there was one guy to focus on, and that was what Judge was doing.
In the current hobby market, I mean, look at football. It's like, are you going to be able to buy anybody in football that you would have purchased in July or August that by the end of the season is going to be 4 or 5x?
No, absolutely not.
Probably not. I mean, we looked at a bunch of guys after week 2, and most of it was flat. And I mean, shit, the Eagles are 4-0. Jalen Hurts is rocking and rolling, and his stuff's not going to go up 4 to 5x, even though, a year ago that thing would be up like 20x.
Right. So, yeah. Less money being spent, less people spending it.
Yeah. I think, and I also think that the guys that were sitting on cards, some of those guys are, waiting for PC stuff versus, waiting to flip it and sell it. So we'll see, but I do agree that we're already in saturation. When you have PSA 10 pops over 20,000, I mean, on some cards you're in saturation.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, moving on. Some chatter, I guess, out of the industry summit. I watched a bunch of stuff on social media, YouTube, whatever, from the industry summit. We're not cool enough to get invites quite yet to the industry summit. So, we
Where's that, Texas?
It's in Vegas.
Oh, it was in Vegas. Yeah. They do it in Texas sometimes, I think.
No, they do it in Vegas.
Huh.
So, watch some coverage on that. It didn't seem like much was accomplished as far as like anything earth-shattering for the hobby. Somewhat disappointing on the Fanatics panel. The Fanatics had their own panel, and most of the stuff that they talked about had nothing to do with cards. It was more collectibles and clothing and that kind of stuff. So it really wasn't anything exciting. There was
Snooze fest.
I didn't see anything as far as like people talking about stuff that was anything revolutionary for the hobby. I anticipate industry summit, people are talking about the future and what's coming and where it's going and what we're going to do and, innovation. And I heard nothing of any value. So, maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anything that would have been worthwhile to be there. Did hear some chatter from a couple people that the whole Fanatics Panini rumors of Fanatics buying the U.S. portion of Panini is not dead. There are some things that are starting to come into focus as far as that lining up. More than likely, I would think if it's going to happen, potentially by the end of the year. My question to you is, if it does happen, do you think that it moves the needle at all as far as card prices? Do you think that people are going to view it as a sign of hope for some of the Panini brands and, we get some price movement on that? Or are we in too much of a funk right now between the economy and pricing and everybody else that people are staying on the sideline with cash?
Well, you're gonna have your group of people that are just gonna scream, "Well, now it's monopoly, so prices are always gonna suck." And then you'll have the other half of people who are hopeful, like you said, that because everything we've heard from them is direct to consumer, better value. I mean, we have to take them at their word, but I think you're starting to see there's a little, even we kept saying for months, like, how are people still paying these freaking prices for
Yeah.
these hobby boxes? And now you're starting to see, a week or two after release, those down, they're going down the prices, and
Yeah.
people are having difficulty moving stuff. So I think if that trend continues, Fanatics can't come at you with crazy box values right off the bat. They'll lose even more people.
I'm actually curious. So right now you can, I mean, 2020 Panini Prism football from DA Card World, $2,400. These prices were up a lot higher than that because obviously you have the Herbert, Burrow, Tua
Yeah, that's a
triumvirate in
massive
there.
class. So
Yeah,
2,400 seems low to me
yeah,
right now. I mean,
2,400.
it's still too high, but it seems low to me into what I
Well,
remember.
these came out retail at 14.99 when they first came out, which obviously is still a high price, but for it to be only up to
Yeah, 24
2,400.
now.
Let's see what, and Blowout has them for 21.99. So, I think you'll see it continue to come down. I think you'll see everything, continue to come down, which is good. It'll provide some opportunities for people to buy, and then I think this year's class is fugly, as far as at least for football anyway. And I mean, even for basketball, there's nothing all that exciting coming out of this past draft, and that may be the catalyst if Fanatics owns Topps and Panini USA, and this year's classes are awful, and they can't charge what they've been charging because there's no marquee studs. I mean, that may be the catalyst for getting lower prices coming into next year, because next year's NFL class is going to be ridiculous because you have potentially 4 to 5 quarterbacks that are going to go in the top 10 next year.
And you put out a Topps Chrome football, the return of Topps Chrome football with that class. They won't lower prices at all because people are going to be attacking for that.
Yeah, that's stalk the guy and target type of stuff next year.
Well, I hope they'll definitely go retail with it. I hope that they shouldn't. They should just go hobby only with that stuff. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
They don't let me make the decision.
we'll see what happens, but I want to see prices come down, and we've talked about it a few times here, and I think this could be the perfect storm as far as everything coming together. And the only thing once again that concerns me is Fanatics been sitting on tops for the last 10 months, and we haven't seen boo from them other than zero cool. So how long is it going to take? So I mean, let's say the deal gets inked in December for Panini. When do we see anything of value?
Yeah, and honestly, what'd you say, 10 months ago? I still think we're probably 3-4 months away before any of those brainstorming, put together set idea. I think in the next couple months you're going to see
Well,
the first installment of that.
it would make sense for this year's baseball season. I mean, you got it. Topps Bowman products, whatever it is, it would make sense for this baseball season for them to make some sort of announcement early 2023, saying, "Hey, here's some new additions to the Topps lineup brought to you by Fanatics." I mean,
Or here's what we're taking away.
yeah, that's what I would like to see is, let's get this train moving.
Because
Show us something.
I don't want half a dozen more releases. Yeah, I want pick and choose and replace.
Yeah, yeah, we're
We don't
chopping.
need more products. We got too many products, too many releases from each company as it is.
Yeah, and I don't disagree, and it's gonna be a matter of, them picking their flagships, adding. I think they're gonna add. They gotta add at least one or two of their own that are new and unique, in my opinion. Take out a couple that are basically worthless and add in a couple of something innovative.
Yeah, and even with the Topps baseball stuff, but there's such a cult following with some of these releases. Like if Topps Museum and Topps Tier One disappeared, I wouldn't be mad. I think they're garbage personally, but there are people that absolutely love them. So are
Oh,
they going to replace that, knowing that there's cult followings on some of that stuff? They're
yes.
pretty popular. They've come out every year.
Yeah, well, just because they would come out every year doesn't mean necessarily that it's the most popular line. I mean, you can't please all the people all the time. There's always going to be some group of people that are like, "Oh, this product is the best," and it's really a shit product. So
Yeah, like if you took Bowman's Best away from me, I might leave the hobby.
fair enough. I mean, I don't think that would ever happen, but
Yeah, I
fair
don't think
enough.
so either. But
All right.
well, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But I do think we'll see like what you're talking about, this brain map of fanatics, and you're gonna see something the next
Well,
couple
I
months.
mean, give me what freaking Marvel did with with what Marvel did with the MCU, as far as give me the layout over the next 5 years. This is our release schedule.
I
You
don't
know,
think they have that ready yet. That's what I'm saying. I think you're gonna get the next 6 months in 3 months from now. That's what I think.
well, I personally think that once if the deal can get acquired with this next draft class coming in for football, it would be the perfect time for them to make a splash. I think, as you said,
Roll out
it'd
everything
be
they've discussed.
a bonanza to just re-release, even if you just re-release Top Chrome football for next season. Get the license, get the deal inked, and then the new design for 2023 Topps Chrome football. And the class that's coming out, it'd be
Oh, it'd be bonkers.
bananas. It'd be
It would be
bananas.
bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you could get box prices at where they've been or less, at a $1,500 price point or less.
They'd
Um,
instantly sell out.
yeah, give me a 999 2023 Topps Chrome football box, and it'd be crazy.
Still crazy that it's that price, but yes, it would instantly sell out.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, we got one other topic to talk about, which I don't remember what it was.
The only thing I remember is silver packs, if that's what you
Yes,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah,
discuss.
yeah. I think you have a couple of things that you noticed from the silver packs, just to close the door on this.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're getting delivered to people, so that's good.
Yeah,
Everyone's ripping them. That's good. And they're, and ripping them live means if you bought into their break spots, etc., then you're going to be the recipient of those cards, is my guess. I haven't heard any negative stories yet about people ripping them and keeping them for themselves that had previously sold, break spots or boxes to people. So that's good. And
okay.
then I guess in the packs, there's some surprises with, random autos from different years. And I mean, I saw a Vlad Jr. auto. I saw a Wander auto. I saw all sorts of different stuff. I think there was a couple redemptions in there.
Yeah,
Just random stuff Topps is throwing in just to say, I'm sorry.
yeah, which is nice. I mean,
Yeah, you can't be mad at it.
yeah,
Nice surprises.
it's a good way to provide a makeup to everything, and obviously some of the short prints of the ones that were missing from the original are already on eBay and selling for some pretty crazy prices.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. I mean, I don't know how much it hurt them financially to do it this way, but it looks like the collectors are,
Well,
if you're lucky enough to hit one of these bonuses, You're
other
making
than
out pretty nice.
paying the shipping cost to get the silver packs out, and actually, firing up the factory to put the cards in the packs. I mean, the other stuff they obviously got laying around at the warehouse, just extra shit floating around. So they're like, hey, go into the back and grab a bunch of autos and throw them in the packs. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like they sent out new cards to Wander and Vlad and some of these other guys
No,
and
no,
had
no. Of
them
course not.
sign it. So it's all stuff they got laying around anyway. So I think as far as a make good, this was as best as you were gonna get, and I would consider myself satisfied with what they did to make up for their
Over satisfied because
yeah.
even though you paid the money with the expectation you had a shot at these things, and when you really didn't, and that sucks. At the end of the day, the chances of you hitting one of them were so rare to begin with
Yeah.
that now if you're going to get this free bonus lotto ticket where you could get some decent stuff, well worth it.
Yeah, I agree. And, just once again, whoever's decision it was, Tops or Fanatics or whatever, just Tops continues to outshine Panini in regards to customer service. And, you just hope that this level of quality service will continue it. And honestly, it's a hope that I have that Fanatics acquires Panini and let's get current Panini people out so that we can regain quality control and pare down some of the parallels and some of the other stuff to get some of this back in line so that it's not just just millions of different variations of everything.
You don't want donkey, goat, zebra parallels?
Yeah, elephant, snake, zebra, freaking tiger,
Lava fusions?
tiger, lava, fire, nuclear, whatever. Anyway, all right. Time for the moment that hopefully some of you have been waiting for.
About this.
I am pretty excited about this. I think it's going to be fun and a little bit innovative here. I have yet to hear anybody in the sports card space do this, so hopefully we're the first.
Well, I was uber prepared with the wrong directions.
No,
so
you were uber prepared with what you thought in your head, and
right. What I perceived to be the rules of this segment, but I think I've recovered.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Let me explain the rules,
and
then you can explain your faux pas.
All right, explain the rules.
I was gonna use another word, but we're not allowed to use that word on air. Okay, here we go. Sports card advantage. Sports card draft. This is going to be a 5-card draft, meaning we each get to pick 5 cards. And we wanted to make it a little bit niche so that we can do this, multiple times. Hopefully you guys like it. We want to hear your feedback, so send us email, info@sportscardadvantage.com. Did we pick the right cards? Did we miss somebody? Which 5 do you like better, Bunk's or mine? Send us feedback on Twitter or Instagram. Give us suggestions on what you want to see for the next sports card draft. So here are the rules. The card has to have been released between the years of 2017 and 2022. It is football only. You can only select the player once. So if I take Patrick Mahomes, then Bunk can't take any Patrick Mahomes cards. No one-of-ones. And obviously with a sport like football, the tendency is to lean more towards quarterbacks. So you have to have at least one non-quarterback in your 5. And then what else did we talk about for rules here? And basically, as far as the criteria for judging, it's whatever you want. Value, whether or not you'd want to put it in your PC, whether or not you'd want to resell, whether or not there's future value, whether or not the card's just a sick patch, nice auto, et cetera, et cetera. So it's all matter of preference. I thought we were going to be pretty in line, but we chatted a little bit ahead of time, and Bunk went in a little bit of a different direction, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, give us your feedback, send it back in. We have a couple of others planned, but I think we can turn this into a regular segment and have some fun with it.
Right, and so it'll make sense as we draft. But the part that I had missed was Jeffrey appropriately planned for 10, 11, 12 guys because he knew that once you draft a guy, that guy's gone.
Because when we talked about it last week, I said you can only draft a player once.
I don't know how I missed that. So I had 10 cards prepared of only 5 dudes. So in case he snaked the one I wanted, I could snake the other one. Well, now I can't do that. So
yeah, well,
but I'm still gonna try to crush you here.
Yeah, he's still gonna recover, and hopefully we'll see what happens.
And hopefully the randomizer's kind to me. Because if I get first pick, then that saves me.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, here we go. We are going to randomizer. Give me a number between 1 and 10, and there we go. Everything is documented on the YouTube video for so nobody can accuse me of cheating.
4.
All right, here we go. 1.
Bad enough you abuse me.
2, 3, and 4. You are the first pick, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy, this is tough now.
Coming to the stage, the commissioner, Mr. Bunk, with the first pick in the Sports Card Advantage Sports Card Draft.
Oh, man. I'm on the clock. What do I get? 5 minutes?
No.
People sit and listen for me for 5 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think they want to sit and listen to your legs shake and hit the desk for the next 5 minutes. So,
this is so hard.
Make your pick.
So hard. All right. Well, I'm just removing this card altogether. You mentioned Mahomes before. I'm going Patrick Mahomes. There is an absolute sick. This is not the card I'm taking, but now that I know you can't take it, I can discuss it. There's an absolute sick RPA BGS 9 that I know you saw in Golden that sold for $393,000. It's an absolute ridiculous patch.
That is the card that I have on my list that I was going to take about.
It's just absolutely ridiculous, and it's BGS. So how can you not love it? However, I did not go that direction. I am going for the 2017 Contenders rookie ticket, number 343. So that is the horizontal card. PSA 10 auto. Don't confuse it with the number 303, which is the traditional vertical card. That card has a print run of 212. The card I took has a print run of only 100. I don't think they're serial numbered, but there's announced print runs on it. Gem rate 31%. Now, an interesting thing here is if you do the BGS and the PSA data here, you can determine that a ton of these have been cracked open because there's 51 graded by PSA and there's 66 graded by BGS, which obviously is more than the total print run of the card.
Correct.
So one would speculate that a lot of BGS 9.5s no longer exist.
Or people got them graded by BGS back in 2017 when PSA and BGS were much more on the same plane, and now PSA obviously has advanced a lot further.
Yeah, so I like this. I like the horizontal card. It looks cool as hell. You've seen some other rookie ticket autos of veterans go for ridiculous amounts of money, so it's a popular card. The last 2 sales on this card were $1,400 at auction, $1,800, $500 as a buy it now. I just think it's a ridiculous auto.
Alrighty. Do you have a price as far as what it sold for?
I just told you, $13,900 at auction and $18,500 buy it now were the last 2 sales.
Okay, so the other rule that we forgot to mention was it had to have sold within the last 90 days.
90 days, yeah. So one was September 4th and August 30th.
Yeah, so please feel free to provide your feedback on Bunk passing on a $300,000 Mahomes in favor of a $13,000 Mahomes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am going to make a selection in a rule we did not discuss, but we will see. We will have this discussion right now. If I take a card that has a dual players on it, does that then negate you from taking either one of those guys?
Well, you'd have to put that rule in moving forward.
So,
but if you want to throw rules in to really get me this week, then yes, you can install that rule now.
All right, I think we should install that rule, and it's a little bit of strategy.
Week?
No, for right now.
No, guy, you can't take 2 players off the board with 1 pick.
You got first pick, so I can take 2 players off the board with a dual card. It will affect my pick. So make a call. I'll give you final decision as far as whether or not I take a card that has dual players on it, whether or not that knocks both of those guys out for you. Because it will affect which card I take.
Well, from the purpose of I have a limited number planned because of the rules. If you take two guys away from me, you're just going to hear me typing for my fifth card.
Okay, so then all right.
But I'm all for moving forward. If you can,
Okay,
if you can
yeah,
own
all right.
somebody with a dual card.
Yeah, so we'll make that a rule going forward. If it's a dual card, then that'll knock both players out, and that'll be strategic. I'll tell you what my pick is first, and then I'll tell you what the dual card is that I would have taken had it knocked out both guys for you.
All right, let's hear it.
So I am taking the 2020 Panini National Treasures Patch Auto Stars and Stripes Justin Herbert.
Oh, I saw that out of 20. I love that card.
The card is out of 20. It is an insane patch. It has the stars and stripes on it. So you got the American flag vibe. You got Herbert, who obviously is in line to be QB of the future. So hopefully this card will appreciate in price. Current pop 1. So obviously it has the rarity factor of it. It's out of 20 to begin with, and it's only pop 1 for PSA 10. It recently sold in the last 90 days on Golden for $216,000. So that is card number 1 for me. The card that if I would have been allowed to take this to block you out of these two guys, was a 2020 Panini National Treasures Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert dual auto. That's out of 5.
I should have let you go for that.
So that would have taken Herbert
and clutching Joe Burrow today.
Yeah, well,
damn it.
Either way, you made the call. That would have been
I did.
That would have been my pick to take both of those guys out. I figured you had Burrow somewhere on your list.
Yeah, well, listen, my Patty Mahomes has a Super Bowl ring, and your fancy dancy six-figure card does not.
Well, we're talking about sports cards, not Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, well, for future value, it matters. You know that.
Fair enough. By all means, make your second selection.
Herbert turns into Phillip Rivers. Your $220,000 card is instantly $70,000.
All right, guy, make your next pick.
Oh, I'm next. Yeah, so I got to use some strategy here because with my limited players, I got to swipe the non-QB off the board now.
Oh wow, he's gonna take.
I got to swipe the non-QB off the board now.
Okay.
So I am going with the great Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
And I know you know which card I'm taking because it was the most glaring card in the last 90 days of his. But I'm going with the 2017 Panini Gold Prism Auto out of 10.
Yep.
That it recently sold for $6,200. There's only three graded at 10. I mean, obviously it's only out of 10, but there's the pop's 3 on it. There's no 10s at BGS. There are 2 9.5s at BGS, but just a sick card of a staple football rookie card. His numbers are ridiculous, coming off the triple crown of wide receivers last year. He's showing no signs of not being an absolute all-time great. And then I should have the option in both scenarios, barring major injury, that you need to get rid of it. Always going to be a good time for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And if he becomes an all-time great, which is his trajectory right now, you have a ridiculously sick card.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, if I had to take a guess, it's probably the highest price a Cooper Kupp card has ever sold for. So, I think it's a solid pick. I would have waited till the end on that, which, just opens the door for me to take.
Yeah, grab another big one. That's fine. I had to do a little strategy. I'm a little at a disadvantage due to my
being not
lack
prepared,
of following rules.
Not prepared.
Well, I'm fully prepared, just in the wrong venue here.
So I have to take Josh Allen in some capacity. I have 2 Josh Allen cards prepared, and the only question that I have is whether or not I want to take the PSA 10 or the BGS 9.5. There's 2 major Allen cards that have sold in the last 90 days. One is out of 17 BGS 9.5. The other one is out of 99 PSA 10.
Yeah, his jersey number out of 17.
Yeah, so it's tough. No, Allen wears 17, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, I know, but the card there's 17 copies of it.
Yeah. So the card is out of 17. The card is numbered 8 out of 17. Which is probably the direction I'm going to go here because it's only out of 17 instead of out of 99, and it's a BGS 95, so we'll use that one. 2018 National Treasures Green, Josh Allen Auto Patch, 3-color patch, BGS 95, Pop 5. So that's my second pick.
Say that one again. Which one did you go with?
The 2018 National Treasures Green, number 163, okay. Josh Allen signed patch rookie card.
I had Josh Allen on my list. I had 3 Josh Allen cards, actually. And then one of our rules was no 101s. So that threw one of them out because I totally missed that.
Yeah, there was a 6 shield that sold for Allen.
And there's also the gold vinyl that sold on Golden.
Yeah.
The Contenders Optic gold vinyl.
Yeah.
Sick card. But there's also, it didn't sell for much money, but did you see in your searching, did you see the National Treasures hats off?
No.
Josh Allen,
I didn't
2018. See it. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the card. I don't know if it's an actual like Bills hat or a piece from his helmet hats off sort of thing, but it's got the Bill, the Bills logo right through the patch on the card, autographed. But it was like a PSA 8 Auto 9. Like, it just didn't look clean that way. The card is ridiculous.
Yeah, and
it was only $6,600.
Yeah, part of my strategy anyway. There were some PSA 8s and BGS 8.5s that sold for big money, but I stayed away from those. Like I want BGS 95s, PSA 10s. I want cards that are top of the line.
Bougie.
All right, guy. Who do you got for number? Who do you got third in your pick?
I just realized you took Allen off the board, so I'm like, well. Now that you have a combined total of 0 Super Bowl rings on your 2 selections, where am I going to go next? I know where I'm going.
Tell me you took some.
So I almost went with a theme, a Panini case hit theme of all my cards. I was going to go with all kabooms, optics, the downtowns, and just sick cards of those, just for and take the collecting standpoint. But I am going with the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Wow, you found
I was fortunate enough to find a 2018 Panini Kaboom PSA 10 Pop 42 for $4,200. Give it to me.
You are schlepping through this. All right. I don't even have Tom Brady on my list.
Yeah, because you don't want cards of Super Bowl winners. That's fine. I'm just loading up on them.
Well, I will load up on.
You can load up. Allen Herbert never win a Super Bowl. The hundreds of thousands of dollars you're spending are going to be cut in half, if not more.
At the rate we're going, I can load up on 5 guys that will probably win multiple Super Bowls over the course of their career.
One.
And, it will help me.
Load up, guy. Let's do it.
I am loading up.
I'm going to put all these values into a sheet, and we're going to time capsule it, and we're going to come back.
So the next guy I'm going to take is... And this I would view as potentially short-term play and or, I guess long-term, depending on how you see him. But, Lamar Jackson having a ridiculous season right now. You could get into one of these cards and he will potentially win the MVP with the way he's playing. So you will easily be able to see short-term resale value here. This is a situation also, once again, of PSA 10 versus a BGS 8.5. Yeah. And for those of you that are not watching the YouTube, Bunk is making zero Super Bowl ring. But that's the thing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady has already reached his value. He's already achieved it. There's not gonna be some retirement bump. He's already retired and come back. So the only thing that's gonna improve Tom Brady's value is if he wins the Super Bowl. That's it.
Or going to the Hall of Fame with all those Super Bowl rings.
It's already been built in.
At $4,200, it's a no-brainer.
Get out of here.
At $223,000, and the guy never wins a Super Bowl.
Get out of here. All right, here we go.
Coming down.
So this is it's an interesting one as far as which way to go in PSA 10 versus BGS 8.5. It's a 2018 Prism Lamar Jackson White Sparkle Flawless PSA 10 or National Treasures 2 out of 2 Nike Swoosh Patch Auto BGS 8.5. The swoosh patch is absolutely insane. It's out of 2, but it's a BGS 8.5, so it's
fine, guy. a sick looking card.
It
Who
is.
cares?
It is. So we're gonna go with that. 2018 National Treasures, red, Lamar Jackson, Nike swoosh patch, auto, out of 2, BGS 8.5.
So what I like with what we're doing right now, we're some rules are going to be evolving from this. So one of my questions for you right now is, you know, we both have different views of what we're taking and why. And,
Yeah.
and I think moving forward, we can continue to narrow that down in order to actually, if you want to actually judge the lots of 5. I mean, it's hard to do it because we're both so widespread in our views on why we're taking cards.
Which I think is better.
Which is fine. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
I had no idea you were going to go in this direction. I figured you'd be
Right.
along a similar line to me, itching to get Herbert and Allen. I figured that would be on your list, but obviously
which is why I said to you, because I didn't go down that route initially, and when I said to you, are you looking at golden auctions, because those are going to be way higher than I'm looking at, and then you're like, yeah, I'm like, all right. So
you're looking at the dollar boxes.
I was searching the dollar bin, but what I was going to say to you is maybe for certain drafts we put a in order to determine future value or something like that, we put, say, whatever card you take, you have to hold for at least 6 months, 5 years. You know what I mean? Is that worth doing?
I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off air. Keep rolling.
Keep moving. All right. Well, I'm going to add to my Super Bowl
Giants game
rings.
kicked off, so keep rolling.
I'm going to add to my Super Bowl rings here, and I'm going with a 2019 National Treasures Aaron Rodgers auto, out of 5, PSA 10, recent sale, only $2,500. Give me one of the greats, autograph, PSA 10. Got one in the 2017 to 2022 price range. Should have more than one Super Bowl, but he's got one.
All right.
And you have donuts still.
There you go. And I will continue to have donuts.
Yeah, why don't you go T-Law, guy?
That is potentially going to be the plan here. I got to look to see who else I got on my list. All right, I'm going to go back to the top since I already have it, and we'll make this my Joe Burrow card, and I will take the 2020 Panini National Treasures 4 out of 5 Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert dual auto out of 5. And this will be my Joe Burrow card, and since I have Herbert already, it doesn't affect anything, so now we can
technically
work that
still
in there.
The slimy move, but
I have Herbert.
You didn't violate any rules.
I didn't violate any rules, and it's my Burrow card.
Joe Burrow taking a beating, though, guy.
Joe Burrow is going to be fine. Between Burrow, Herbert, Allen, and Lamar Jackson, those guys will easily win a couple Super Bowls. I'm not worried at all. All right, guy. Five out of 5.
How many do they have now?
They have 0. 0 Super Bowl rings for my current selections, but my current selections will be valued at 8 million times your freaking selections.
Right, but you spent the fortune. 4/5 of them are going to reduce in value by hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you'll have one card worth something, and you would have still took a loss.
We'll see.
Big L.
Herbert goes to the playoffs this year like Burrow did last year. That's skyrocket, and I'm even on the rest of my cards. I got Herbert in 2 cards.
Well, that's the thing. That's why we got to lay out. That's what I mean by whole time. Think about it. If you determine whole time or some kind of like value, then obviously I wouldn't take the $2,500 cards. I just rather have all time greats of a cool card of Hall of Famers.
Okay, then that's your personal preference.
Hype young guys now.
That's your personal preference.
So following with that theme, I'm not even spending $1,000 on the next card.
Oh Jesus!
I'm going 2017 Donruss Optic Downtown Drew Brees.
Oh boy, where the hell?
$800.
Where should we even pull that out of?
Guy, I told you that's what I was looking for. I started looking at some of the younger guys. I'm like, I don't want any of these cards. I want all time great quarterbacks.
You could have given me 100 guesses as far as you gave me the year and the card, and you could have given me 100 guesses, and I wouldn't have gotten Drew Brees.
No, sir. Give me Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Give me them all.
All right, go.
Who's my other guy?
I don't even know.
Well, either way, he probably won a Super Bowl. since I swiped all the
All
Super
right.
Bowl.
Well, here
Oh,
comes.
Mahomes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
You
Mahomes.
do
dude.
have Mahomes. So here is my final pick. I have to use my non-quarterback. So I had a couple guys that I looked at. The cut card that you picked, it was on the list, but also I have a Justin Jefferson and a Jamar Chase. I like Jefferson better than Chase as far as future value is concerned, and he has 0 Super Bowls. So I'm going to go with the 2020.
Everyone knows your theme this week, guys.
2020 Prism Justin Jefferson Gold Auto 7 out of 10 PSA 10. That is my fifth and final. So
Prism Gold?
What's up?
It was the Prism Gold?
Yeah, Prism Gold Justin Jefferson.
So it's the same exact card as Cup, just from his year.
Correct.
PSA 10?
Correct.
What did it sell for?
I don't remember. I can look it up real quick.
I'm just curious because the hobby likes to overpay for things that haven't happened yet. Bless you.
Ow. All right, here we go.
I mean, the Cup for 6,200 felt super high to me for a non-quarterback.
6,700.
Wow.
Jefferson.
Wow. Cup's a bargain.
I
But,
guess.
I mean, Jefferson looks like a stud for years to come. So, I mean.
As the rest of my team, as opposed to your team, which is going to be in the retirement home other than Mahomes in a few years.
My entire team's going to the Hall of Fame. And they all have Super Bowl rings.
Well, I'll place a bet.
And a chance to still win more.
That my entire team will also be in the Hall of Fame. All right, Guy, here's a wrap-up. For you, you have Patrick Mahomes, Cooper Kupp, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. I have Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, dual Burrow, Herbert, and Justin Jefferson. So,
yeah, man. The 18 to 29 crowd's going to be all over your list.
Dude, the millennials and Gen Zers love me.
All over your list.
Young and hip. You're old and retired. All right, here we go. We're wrapping up because the Giants game's on, and we want to go watch it. So that's it for the first ever Sports Card Advantage Sports Card Draft. We're going to do something basketball related probably next week just because we want to get the segment out, and get some feedback on it. So if you have suggestions for basketball, send it to us, info@sportscardadvantage.com, or reply to us on Twitter or Instagram, SportsCardADVTG. Anything else for the fine folks? Super Bowl bunk.
No. Take your L like a man today.
I will take my 0 Super Bowls, and we will see who wins. I may even have to put up a Twitter poll on this to see who wins. And on that note, enjoy your Sunday football, and we'll see you next week.